This is checkpoint 1.19. They want us to put this equation in standard form, and we know that this is actually an ellipse because the squares, the x's and y's are both squared and they both have the same sign. So this is going to be an ellipse. Let me rewrite this ellipse into a form that we can get ready to, where we can complete the square. So that involves writing the x's together so that we can group them together and the y's together. So we have a 9x squared plus 18x, and then we have a positive 16y squared. This is a minus 64. And then let's bring the 71 over to the other side. Okay, that's our first step. Now let us expand it a little bit. Let's factor out a 9 from the x squared and 18x. So that leaves us with a 2x. And I'm going to leave a little space here so that I can add something to make this a perfect square. We'll take out a 16 from the y squared and also from the 64y, and that will leave us with a 4y, some space for our completing the square technique. To complete the square for the first one, we have 2, half of 2 is 1, 1 squared is 1, I added a 1, actually I'm adding a 9 because it's 1 times 9 that I added on the left side, so we'll add 9 on the right side. And then we will add 4, half of 4 is 2, 2 squared is 4. We will add a 4 on the left side. Actually we're adding a 4 times 16, so we're really adding a 64 on the left side. We will do the same on the right. And now we have a perfect square for the x's. Oops, this is a 1. So it's x plus 1 quantity squared. We have a perfect square for the y's. That's y minus 2 quantity squared. And 71 plus 9 is 80 plus 64 is 144. Okay. Now that we have that, let us divide by 144. 144 divided by 9 is 16, and that would be a 16 in the denominator. And let's go ahead and write it as 4 squared. And because we have a 16, 144 divided by 9 is 16, then 144 divided by 16 must be 9, which is going to be 3 squared. Okay. All right, now we have this in ellipse form. We can identify that the center point of the ellipse is -1, comma, +2. So let's draw the ellipse, and let's identify -1, +2 as our center point. Let's label it -1, +2. That's our center point. Now this is going to be elongated along the x 4 units. So let's go from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and from here 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to have this as the outsides and 3 units along the y. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now this is our ellipse. Okay, now we have our ellipse. Let's identify a few more things. We can identify our foci. Our foci should be somewhere over here and here. Let's get the exact value for those foci, and we can get them by identifying a C value. So for foci, we need C, and the formula is going to be C squared is equal to A squared minus B squared, where A and B are the denominators squared over here. So it looks like our C squared is going to be 4 squared minus 3 squared. That's 16 minus 9. 16 minus 9 is 7. So C squared is equal to 7. C is equal to positive and negative square root of 7. Okay, so now that we know that, we will add square root of 7 and subtract square root of 7 from the x value. So 1 point over here, foci is going to be -1 minus square root of 7, and that's your x value, and your y value will remain 2. So from here, square root of 7, it's less than 9 between 2 and 3. So 1, 2, and 3. So between 2 and 3 would be somewhere over here. That's one foci. And our second foci is -1 plus the square root of 7, comma 2. And that would be 1, 2, 3, somewhere over here. So those are your foci. And then that should be it. Okay, I hope that helps.